To me, it's a no-brainer. You've got the oldest canoe and kayak manufacturer in the country. They're still making boats by hand, and they're doing it in an area that is teeming with natural beauty. It seems like you have all the components of a really cool story. We tried for 9 years and no one was able to tell the story. I just thought it was so obvious, and that was a mistake I made. How do we tell a story? How do we get people to listen? How do we engage our audience outside the walls of our shop? That's a challenge.
When you run a small business, it's not a job, it's your life. And what we found is that people that are running small businesses had a passion, and they turned that passion into their career. By spending time with Mark, we were able to listen to his stories, and that gave us a real insight into what the authentic storylines were for his business. That's how we came up with We Love Water. It's authentic Mark, it's authentic Maine, it's real, and we knew that because we put in the time.
Yeah, I remember sitting down for the first time with Jack. They really cared about understanding what made us tick, and through that, they were able to come up with an action plan that worked really well for us.
When we met Mark, Mark was committed to a dealer strategy, and we applaud that. We feel that's the connection individuals have to their local scene, and we believe in it, Mark believes in it. The concern with such a strategy is that you're dependent on what's happening with the dealer. And a lot of these dealers in the paddling world aren't even open all year round. A strategy of dealers is somewhat precarious. So the heart of what we did for Lincoln was to create an e-commerce site. Mark was looking to the future. Mark wanted to have the option of direct sales. When you're selling something, a high-end product, an experienced product online, it's very content-centric. You need to recreate the experience. You have to not only sell the company and the products, but you also need to sell the sport. That's what brings you to people. That's how they find you in the first place, is by your efforts to sell the sport. What we decided we would do is start with a brand movie. The first sell we made would be the sell of the sport. And by doing that, we would have extra footage that we could use throughout the e-commerce site, from selling the company to selling the individual boats. Kind of think of it as B-roll. So the best bang for Mark's bucks was to start with the brand movie.
Jack came to me with this idea of, hey, let's take your boats, and they're named after some really great paddling destinations along the coast of Maine, if not the world, and let's go on one of your trips. We're going to tell the story through the experience, which is getting a bunch of people together, and let's let this story unfold. And so that was Jack's idea, and it was brilliant. And through telling the story about the experience, you come through the back door with the product, and it's like, wow, it's pretty cool. It's a really good idea. What the movie has achieved is people relate to it. They see it and they're like, wow. Either I felt like I was on the trip, or I really wanted to go on the trip. It achieved that goal. It's visually stimulating. I'm still being told that, oh geez, I've watched the movie 3 times. And after watching it a 3rd time, it's more meaningful than the first because they're able to get more out of it.
What we found is that kayak buyers have a passion for the water. They have a passion for their sport.
The connection that people make when they're out on the water, I mean, that cuts to the core of what we do. And it's really challenging to communicate the message. It's not tangible in the way that you can put your hands on it. And it really is, it's all about storytelling. And what InGuides has done for Lincoln is they've told our story in a way that resonates, that's genuine, that's authentic.
When it came to execution, when it came to actually creating an e-commerce site for Mark, that's the last thing we did. What we had been doing previously over the 5 months that we were working with Mark was learning his story. We were gathering footage. We were filming him building a kayak. We did product shots of his boats. And then what we were doing was bringing everything we had shot, all of the strategy, all the stories together. We had to create a buyer experience, a process that would be akin to walking into a store. You meet the people there, you learn about the boat, and at some point you decide to get out your credit card and buy the boat. And then what we did was we recreated that process online. What we want to do with our content is move you to the next point. We don't want you to stop at interested, we want you to go all the way to wanting it. We were able to create content at each point of the sales funnel to keep the prospect moving towards the buy.
It wasn't all that long ago I went to a clinic, I went to a conference, and the focus of the conference was inbound marketing. And the goal is to start with a wide funnel and you just channel your customers down to the point where they purchase the product. The way the website has been constructed, I didn't know it going into it, but now that I see it, it's like, wow, that's exactly what they've done with our website. It's a perfect example of effective inbound marketing.
Create desire. We find out where a company's coming from, what the products are designed to do, and then we try and help the brand show a picture of people using and enjoying what the product is about.
When you're told by people that you value their opinion because they have experience, they're seasoned business people, and when they say words like, Mark, website is great, it really delivers the message of what you're trying to do. I could spend a day, a week, a month on your website and come away with it never feeling like I was at the same place for too long because there's so much information on it. The way the website is now set up is it communicates the customability of the product in ways that has never been done before. Our customers have choices now, so yeah, it works.
It's really about learning not just the superficial, not just the cues, not just the feature and the benefits, but the passion for the sport that's behind the products. In the end, what we do at InGuides is we create desire. We were able to tell a real story that we feel sells.
I'm more optimistic now than I've ever been. We're doing innovative, creative marketing with InGuides that truly sets us apart from our competitors. To have a marketing team and a media team behind us, pushing us, is invaluable. The message is very clear. People really get it. That, to me, is a huge challenge that we've overcome, and it's going to pay off tremendously in the future.